Okay. So we'll begin with exercise 2.2. We have already started this exercise in the previous session. I've already explained you the concept for the first part of this exercise. We'll be again solving few questions to understand it better. Okay. Once we complete 2.2, we'll be going back to the exercise, the worksheet which I provided you for first chapter. Okay. So exercise 2.2, question number, we'll try question number 4. So we have completed 1 and 2. 3 is similar to first and second. Fourth looks a bit different. 4u squared plus 8u. So the question, in particular question they are asking you, if this is a polynomial, right? Find quadratic equation again. Find its root and verify the relation. Yes, good man. Verify the relation between the coefficient and the roots. Here we have only two terms. One term is missing. So if you compare this with, correct, if you compare this with standard on comparing with standard equation or general equation ax square plus bx plus c, we will be having a as 4. Value of a is 4. Yes, one term is missing, and that's why this question is a bit different. Value of a. What is a? Coefficient of square term. It is coefficient of that term where the variable is having a square. Wherever variable is having a square, coefficient of that number, that particular term is considered a. And where you have variable as single power, the variable is b. So here we have only u. The power is 1. So this will be b. And now the third term is missing. So third term is missing. Yes. So most of you have guessed it right. Value of c will be considered as 0. Because if there is nothing, you can simply add 0 to it. You can add 0 to the equation. That would be allowed. So if the number, any term is missing, you can do this. Suppose if I give you a question and say 8x squared plus 7. Can you tell me values of a, b and c? Some students might be having a doubt if you can take 1 or not. So I'll explain you that. I'll give you example. See, you cannot add 1. You cannot add 1. If you are having a question like x squared plus 8x. Now here, x square, there is no number. Here, x square is there. It is not that the term is missing. The term is present. So then, in this situation, you take the coefficient as 1. But here, the entire term is missing. So you cannot take 1. You have to take 0. You cannot add 1, right? If you add 1, the answer would change. The term would change. But if you add 0, the overall equation does not change. Yeah. So I think yes, most of you are giving right answer. Here, value of a, yes, middle term is missing. Correct. Value of a is 8. Value of b is 0 and c is 7. B will be considered 0 because b is middle term. The value which is having variable with power 1. Variable with power 1. So you need to understand when b is missing and when c is missing. When b will be 0 and when c will be 0. That need to be understood. ऐसा नहीं है कि if you have two terms, then always you have to take C0. No, it depends. Now suppose if I have a question 8x minus 5, but I want to compare this with standard quadratic equation. If I compare this with standard quadratic equation, then what will be value of a, b and c? If I compare this. Now a, b and c, what would be 0? Yes, good Tisha. Good.
A.
No.
A is equal to 0, B is equal to 8, C is equal to minus 5.
Good. A will be 0, B will be 8 and C will be minus 5. Please, you need to understand this is a very important concept. The reason why A is 0, it is not that the first term will always be A. You have to find out a term which is having square with the variable. A term which is having square in the variable, coefficient of that term is A. Here you are not having a term with square variable. There's no term having square in the variable. Therefore, you cannot consider. Yes, it's linear. I know it's linear, but the question was, I gave you the question. If I compare this with quadratic equation, in that situation, I'm not saying this is a quadratic equation, but a linear equation can be written in quadratic form. A linear equation can be written in quadratic form. It can also be written in cubic form. Obviously, you can write if required. Yes, it will give you a line graph. This is just an example I'm giving you. So now moving back to the question. So value of A is 4, B will be 8, and C will be 0. Yes, good morning. Now, we have to also find out the roots. We'll take this entire thing equals to 0. Whenever you have to find zeros, you have to keep the given polynomial equals to 0. You have to find the solution, right? You have to find values, all the possible values of u. Now here middle term splitting is not required. See, middle term splitting is required when you have 3 terms in a quadratic equation. Here one term is missing, so it becomes further easy. No need to split. Just take out common. What can be taken out here? So from numbers perspective, 4 and 8. So we can take out 4 common. And here we have u square and u. So we can take out u common. The remaining terms will be, if you take 4u square, say 4u common, the remaining will be u, and 8 is 4 2s are. You have already taken 4 outside, so it will be 2. The remaining term will be 2. Now you need to understand what is happening here. Most of the students know the next step, but they don't know the reason. Please understand, here 3 things are in multiplication. 4, u and u plus 2. They are in multiplication. 4 into u plus 2. And overall answer is 0. Multiplication of numbers will only be 0 if one of them is 0. If one of them is 0, only then this could be possible, right? We can take out product of numbers, multiplication of numbers 0 तभी होता है जब इनमें से कोई एक number 0. There is no other way. Correct? Yeah. So 4 is not 0. 4 obviously 4 cannot be 0. So now we have 2 options. Either u will be 0 or this term u plus 2 is 0. See, I am covering the concept in both the ways. First, I'll be going to the very basic, the concept which should have been understood in your lower grades. But I'm giving you benefit of doubt. Your lectures were online last time and it was first year. So I'm going in detail. And we'll also be solving external questions. My target is not only for your 10th boards, the overall logic should develop. This is one of the, I would say, one of the most important subject which you can use in your daily life. What I have done here, 4u square plus 8u, this was your question, equals to 0. Okay? We have to find a term which is common. 4u square and 8u. So here 4 is common because 8 is 4 2s up. 8 is nothing but 4 2s up. 4 into 2, so we can take 4 common. And here we have u square, which means u into u. And here you have 1u. So you can take one single u outside. 4 and 1u is written outside. So here 1u is remaining. And here 4 and u is common. So 2 is remaining. Correct? Yes. So either this term has to be 0 or this term has to be 0. Because their product is 0. दो number का multiplication 0 सिर्फ यही दो condition में हो सकता है. Is it clear, Harsh? I think you were having doubt. Now we have u is 0 or u plus 2 is 0. And I'm sending this plus 2 on the left hand side. So I'm getting minus 2. So now you have 2 values of u, and when you have 2 values, you can name them alpha and beta. Let alpha be 0, beta be minus 2. This is not compulsory to take alpha and beta, but obviously there is a general method which is followed. So if you do follow that, that would be better. Alpha is 0, beta is minus 2. You can take alpha is minus 2 and beta is 0. That's fine. That won't be changing your answer. Even if you interchange them, it will not impact your answer. Now, the relations. What was the relationship? Sum of roots. Sum of roots is minus b by a. So sum of the roots means alpha plus beta is minus b by a. You have to verify this. when they are telling you to verify, one thing which as a teacher I have seen many students doing, and it is not something which we like, when you solve it together. When you have to prove this and you are also taking it already equal, you cannot do that. First you have to find LHS, then RHS. Don't write LHS, RHS together. It looks very, very bad. It gives a wrong impression that you are not clear with the concept. Alpha plus beta, value of alpha is 0 and beta is -2. 0 plus -2 is -2. Then RHS is minus b by a. Value of b is 8, but it is and value of a is 4. So 8 upon -4 is also -2. So LHS equals to RHS. Hence verified. I hope no one is having a doubt here. It's a very, very simple topic. I've already covered such questions. Okay. Still, if you have a doubt, no problem, you can tell me. Achha, this is first part. Now we have to also prove product of roots. Product of roots equals to C by A. Product of roots. So your alpha into beta equals to C by A. Now take LHS, alpha into beta. Value will be 0 into -2. So answer will be -2. And then RHS is C by A. Okay. So value of C, yes. So alpha is 0 and beta is -2. So 0 and -2 is -2. While RHS is C by A. That is RHS is C by A. So value of C is 0 and value of A is 4. So overall answer you are getting 0. 0 into -2 is 0. And here also we have 0. So LHS is equals to RHS. Hence verified. 0 into -2 is 0. And here also we have 0. Hence verified. This is how we solve the question. Is it clear to everyone? Harsh?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else, whoever is having a doubt, not a problem, tell me. It's my work to explain. If you have a genuine doubt, see, I'll understand from your doubts the way you ask. If it's genuine. I'll also send you the PDF file. I'll send you the PDF file so you can write them easily. But I don't prefer that. Okay, just for your, if there's a network issue, I'll be sending that. But I prefer you understand the concept and then solve on your own. That would be the best practice instead of writing from some file and then before exam again solving that thing. Why do you want to increase your work? When you are solving, when you are understanding here, write the basic points in rough and then solve it on your own. The chapter will be done. No need to even take these sums again. Then you can directly move to second level, good level questions before exam. Why to waste time on the same questions again and again? T square minus 15. This is my next question. And again, the question says, find the relationship or verify the relationship between the roots and the coefficients. Now, this question generally looks very different to students because you might be having a expectation that a quadratic equation has having three terms, right? And you have expectation that there will be x square, x. See, it's not that. The x is not the only variable. Even t is a variable. Like x can be used, even t, y, b can, anything can be used. Okay? And not only t. Now, as you move ahead in your mathematics, there will be many things coming up. Sometimes instead of t, you may have some completely different thing. You have not studied trigonometry till now. Once we move to trigonometry, you will understand many new things. Math is really interesting. And everything which you are studying in every chapter will be used in all other chapters. Pay attention. It is a general concept. ऐसा नहीं कि second chapter में if you're not paying attention, you'll start from you'll start paying attention from third. That will not help you. So comparing with standard equation, comparing with standard equation, I'll get value of a as 1. Now why value of a is 1? Because the square term, the variable is, the coefficient is missing. That means kitne t square hai? See, when I write 5t square, that means I have 5 times t square. When I don't write number, that means I have only single t square. Understand the concept instead of just writing. So that means value of a is 1, value of b will be 0 because there is no term with t only power 1. I see there's no variable, there's no term, sorry, there's no term where the power of variable is 1. Khali t nahi hai yahan, missing it. So value of b will be 0 and c will be the number. Here don't miss the sign. One of the mistakes, common mistakes. Don't forget this sign, it is important. Now you have value for a, b and c. Now we'll be solving this equation. We'll be solving this, finding the zeros. Finding zeros. You are finding roots, whatever you want to say. T square minus 15 equals to 0. Now this is again, very easy. Yes. No, there will be two answers. Positive root 15 and negative root 15. Understand? So first what I'll be doing, I'll set this minus 15 on the right hand side. So it will become positive 15. So don't think that a quadratic equation में हमेशा middle term splitting करनी होती. No. May not be required. See, this is the third type of sum. In first initial questions, what we were doing, we had to find middle term splitting, and that would be 80% chances that in exam you will be getting the question of middle term splitting. But even you should be thorough with this type of question. Like in the previous question, we took out common, 4 and u common. And here we are not even taking common. We already have a number and a term. एक ही term में variable है, इसमें variable नहीं है. So just send it on the opposite side. Now no need to take anything common because जो t है variable है वो एक ही पे. Previous question क्या था? 4u square plus 8u. यहाँ पे variable was u is a variable जिसकी value नहीं पता. You have to find value of u. It was available in two terms. So you have to take out common. You cannot write like this. अच्छा, this is also allowed. This is also allowed. चलो ये भी मैं आपको समझाऊंगा. Even this is allowed. Plus 8 if you set it here. Now what would happen? Most of the times you will cancel one u. But here there is a mistake. When you cancel a term, till now you have not done this. But from now, remember, whenever you are cancelling a product, something in multiplication from both the sides, so that means you have to take one case. That what if it was 0? आप यहाँ से cancel कर रहे हो u, right? But what if u was 0? You have to take that situation. When you cancel a term, u यहाँ से cancel हो गया, u 0 भी हो सकता है. Now the remaining term is 4u equals to minus 8. 4 goes in division. Minus 8 by 4 minus 2. So now again you are getting two terms like we have done in the previous question. See, this is something extra. If you are understanding, good. If you are not understanding, no need to worry. पिछला टॉपिक आपको समझ में आ गया, great. 4u square plus 8u. What I am doing, instead of taking common, I am sending 8u on the right hand side. Now when I cancel one u, whenever you cancel a variable, cancelling a number will not be a problem. But whenever you cancel a variable, you have to take one case that what if that variable was 0, and then the remaining situation. वहां से एक और वैल्यू होती है, ये दो वैल्यूज होती है. Here we have to simply send the number because variable is only present in one term. Small things will be very helpful. See, whatever I teach, I already take consideration of all the things you will be learning in the entire year and in future. This is a topic for me, not only a chapter. This topic, जितना depth में जा सकता है, I'll cover all those points. T square equals to 15. Now, when I find square root, see, we generally forget to take negative. We generally forget to take minus. But from now onwards, please understand, whenever you are finding square root, it may be positive or negative both. It may be positive or negative both because under root minus under root 15, अगर आप इसका square करते हो, if you square this, just think, if you find square of this, so what does this mean? Minus root 15 into minus root 15, minus into minus, plus root 15. So those who are having a confusion, yes, when you have same number and it is in multiplication with root, the root cancels out. And if you're not understanding that, what you can do? Though both are in under root, 15 and 15, both are in square root, so you can multiply them normally, but inside the square root. 15 are 225, and both of them are having square root. यहाँ पे भी square root. और 225 का root निकाल दो. ठीक है? What I'm doing, if you are having a confusion कि how to multiply when numbers are in root, so do one thing, just forget about the root. Both are in root, so जो अंदर वाले numbers जो हमको multiply कर दो, 15 are 225, and apply the root. Because दोनों root में थे तो यहाँ पे भी root है, up to 25 का root 15. There are many methods you can reach for reaching to a particular point. So values which are possible are plus root 15 and minus root 15. Yes, you can also use identity here. Good. So few students are values of t. alpha positive root 15, beta minus root 15. Okay, and you can take even alpha as minus root 15 and beta as root 15. That is fine. You are having two values, one value alpha, one value beta. That's all. That's all. Now the relationships. So first, sum of roots is minus b by a. Sum of roots minus b by a. Where your alpha and beta की value आपके पास है. So you find LHS root 15 plus minus root 15. So overall answer will be 0. Overall answer will be 0. Because you are adding them. Okay. And RHS minus b by a. Value of b is 0. So whatever is value for a, that won't matter. Even your answer 0.1. 0. Correct. So LHS equals to RHS, hence verified. See, along with your logic, also understand how to write. It is important. Second, alpha into beta is C by A. This is your relationship where value of alpha is root 15 and value of beta is minus root 15. Value of alpha is root 15 and value of beta is minus root 15. What would be the answer? I explained.
Minus 15.
Good.
Minus 15.
Minus 15.
This is positive, this is negative. Positive into negative, it will be minus. 15 into 15, both are inside root. So 15 then root 25, and there's a root 225 root 15. So it's minus 15. And RHS. So what is RHS? C by A. Value of C minus 15, value of A 1.
Minus 15 upon 1.
Yes. So whenever in denominator you are having 1, you may not write it. So again LHS equals to RHS, hence verified. Hence verified. We have covered all the type of basic questions from this concept. From 2.2 question 1 basic. If you are clear with these questions, then we can move to next step. Okay. I hope you are not having a doubt.
Yes, sir.